Hi everybody, just wanted to do a quick video about the practical or mechanical side of owning a PlayStation VR, and a quick kind of look at the setup I've got. If you're wondering, have you got enough space, are the leads long enough, you know, what have you got to do if you want to use a PlayStation VR. So we're in kind of our, this is our dining room down here, which is acting a little bit of a storeroom at the moment for my son's stuff from university, not the rocking chair, that's our grandson and granddaughter. So as I say, you know, it's a bit tight in here at the moment. We've got some stuff in here that we normally wouldn't have, but it's still more than big enough for the PSVR. So there's my laptop, there's the TV I use when I'm gaming normally. There you can see my PSVR. And so I'm not going to go into the wiring of the PSVR. There's various wires that plug into the back of your PlayStation and plug into the front of it, but it's easy to do. There are a lot of wires, but you'll see what you're left with. So what you can see down here is that box on the top. That's my PlayStation 4, just there. Don't worry about that. That's a capture card that kind of just sits in between, but you know, you wouldn't have one of those. Underneath is my Xbox 360, and basically the wires come up. Let me move this out of the way, and they go to this baby. This is the PlayStation VR breakout box, I guess you'd call it. It's a bit vague about what it actually do, but it tends, the common kind of agreement is that it does your 3D audio and splits up the video screen as well. So basically the HDMI is coming into there and it splits off and then goes into the TV. And then we have this lead here. Okay, now this lead here is the one that goes directly to the PlayStation VR, which is kind of around here. So if I pick the PlayStation VR up, and let me, you can see how long the lead is. So if I put the PlayStation VR there, that's the length of the normal lead to that point there, and then we have this big long extension lead as well. So which means that, you know, if I wanted to, I could use my PSVR all the way over here, all that long way from the PlayStation. Now the other kind of bits that are involved, if we just come back over here and put the PlayStation VR there, is the PlayStation camera. This is the V2 camera, and again there's a lead from there that goes to the back of the PlayStation 4. And they recommend you should stand, I think it's about 1.5 to 2 meters away, or sit about 1.5 to 2 meters away. So if I'm playing sit down games, I'll sit normally in this chair here in front of our little dining table, and then if I'm standing, I tend to stand sort of about here if I'm playing like the Lara Croft game or the Farpoint game as well. As you can see, you know, and I haven't got that much room. There's Valentino's cars down there. But, you know, if I move this chair out of the way, I can stand here and then I can move to the left. And I can move to the right. You've got about sort of 2 meters worth of play area with the PSVR. And, you know, if I'm not quite sure where I am, I can reach out and touch the table, or I can reach out and touch, you know, this Welsh dressery thingy there, just to make sure I am where I am. Now, next thing you do, you're probably thinking, well, what about your headset? So the headset I use with my PlayStation VR is the same one that I use with my controller, which is the HyperX 2s. So any controller that's got, you know, your normal jack that plugs into your DualShock controller will work. I have got a PlayStation wireless headset that's a little bit broken, but I'll have to test that with PSVR as well to see how that works. But I'd imagine you've got to plug it in, because the way it works is you plug your headset not into your DualShock 4, but you plug it into this little remote that's attached to the PlayStation wire. Now if I flip that around here, you can actually see there's the hole there. So what I've done is I've plugged the my headset HyperX 2s into there, and this is the little control box that you should control the PSVR when you've got it on. So you've got the power there, you've got mute, the mic and your headset there, and you've got up and down for the volume. So as you can see, you don't need to have a massive long wire for your headset or anything, because it's actually attached to the big long extension which goes all the way over there. So there we go. So hopefully that gives you an idea of the more practical side of using and playing with the PlayStation 4. Now you don't need all this extra space. You could just be sitting there. You could have a very small space. I remember, although I've got my camera set up underneath the TV, I don't have to do it that way. I could, for example, have my camera, you know, over there, and I could sort of turn the chair around, and I could play here, because it doesn't matter, because your screen is the PlayStation VR headset, because you get to see all the the PlayStation home screen and everything like that. I just kind of have it set up like that because that's the way it is. But there we go. That's my PlayStation VR PS4 setup, and hopefully it gives you an idea of, if you're thinking about getting a PSVR, how it would work in your particular situation, and will allay any fears you have about how complicated it is, or how long the leads are, or anything like that. Anyway, that's enough from me. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.